All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is the first Tuesday of the month. You know what time it is. It is time for the Kids Library. It is 3:02 in Kitsap County. Is poultry the right word? 54 degrees. It is a beautiful day. Do get out there if you get a chance. However, that said, the severe weather shelters are open this evening. So, as always, we ask folks to get the word out so that everyone can be indoors when this weather gets like this. They can call 211 or 360-373-3000. Free transportation there and from the severe weather shelter. All four shelters are open this evening. Check-in is between 6 and 6:30 p.m. All right. Well, now that I've gotten that out of the way, man, one of my favorite people in all of Kitsap County, Priyachari is here, our adult librarian. Let's go ahead and bring her on.
Hello.
How are you doing today, Priya?
I'm great after that welcome. How are you?
Yeah, I'm blessed and highly favored as always.
Awesome.
You
Awesome.
know what's interesting is people don't I don't think we thank each other enough, and give gratitude a lot. So when people kind of get the applause and the horns, they can't help but to smile. Their cheeks get really high and sometimes they get to hurting, it's like, oh my goodness.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, I appreciate that. We all deserve to give each other a round of applause every now and then.
I
So,
I
right
think
on to
so,
you.
right? I
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. So how are you doing?
I am good. It is good to know that the severe weather shelters are opening, and I really appreciate having people sharing that out widely. You never know who might be in need of that information, especially on days like today where it looks like it is beautiful and springy. You don't want to get caught out in the cold. So thank you for sharing that information out, Marwan, and I hope that folks will know where to take advantage of those shelters if needed. So it's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is one of my favorite shows, and it's a highly coveted one because you only come on once a month to hear about everything that's going on with the library for the month. So
Mm-hmm.
it's March already. I don't know if you can believe it. I can't believe it.
Time flies.
You know, I was with the Akuye earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
she's already planning spring break. You know,
Wow.
in April. It's like, oh my goodness, it's flying. So, but
Mm-hmm.
what is happening with the Kitsap Regional Library in the month of March?
A lot of things. Thank you for asking. I will share real quick to show you our website. All right, you seeing the homepage?
I got it.
Fantastic. Okay. So, as you know, as you love, here is our homepage for all things KRL, and you will see our little carousel here of need to know stuff. Um, I want to highlight the one we just saw, actually, which is just March Inspire Light. That is our little catalog of programs, events, and new things that you want to know for the month of March. We have it in all of our branches. You can pop in and grab one. We've got them scattered across the county and then also on our website. If you miss it on the carousel here, you can go hover over classes and events and click on Inspire Light to see a little digital version of the exact same thing. And so you can see the highlighted element on our front page for this month is connecting to Overdrive and the Libby app. And so if you aren't familiar with those, Overdrive and Libby are the ways that you take advantage of our digital collection of books that you read and audiobooks that you listen to. It's a fantastic resource. And if you've never tried an ebook or an e-audiobook, give it a try. It's totally free. It still uses your library card. So if you have one that you use regularly, you are basically already signed up. If you have not gotten a library card, please do. It's not too hard, and we can help you with that. But all of that you can do on any device that you use. So if you want to read on your computer, like your desktop or your laptop, A-OK. If you want to read on your cell phone, mobile device, you can do that too. Libby is a free download in whatever app store that you use, and it connects right to our library system's catalog. If you have an e-reader like an iPad or a Kindle or some other type of tablet, those are also compatible. There are some additional steps, especially if you've got some types of Kindles, which we have available under the download section here. You can get instructions for how to do that. But we just want to remind people that we have a huge collection of digital resources, and it's a good way to branch out if you haven't tried it before. Uh,
I'm
yes.
gonna have to do that because I haven't done it yet,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna challenge myself this year to try to do some more reading. That is my plan, outside of reading grants and things of that nature. So we
Uh-huh.
shall see. But that would be the one way that I could do it. And what I was thinking about doing was just carving out some time, maybe setting a timer, just saying, "Hey, look, even if you read for 20 minutes, you've
Mhm.
got some reading in." So you don't have to consume a book in 2 days or a week.
Oh, yeah.
Just carve that time out, and start reading.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hey, no rush. I know that our checkup periods are limited, but the library staff want to make sure that you take as long as you need. If you need to check something out, return it, check it back out again, return it, extend your renew your hold. We can help you with all of that. The nice thing about the digital resources is that they're much easier to travel with than a full chunky book. So as we're looking into, springtime into the summer where folks might have some travel planned, or you just want to, be able to have a reading habit built that isn't contingent on remembering to have your book with you. This is a good supplement, especially if you like listening to like podcasts. Audiobooks are a really great way to sort of ease into that. Um, and we're always happy to help with recommendations if you need. All right, so what's going on this month? I'm going to click the page to go over. It is a big one, so let's try to zoom in a little bit. There we go. All right, so this might look familiar to some of y'all who have watched me talk through this again. But every month we've got some new cool things going on. I'll just go chronologically based on stuff that we haven't touched yet or hasn't happened yet. We've got our ongoing AARP tax aid program, which is hosted at the Bainbridge Island and Polsbo library locations at different times and days. And you can find those details here or elsewhere on the website. I'll show you a little bit later. This is in addition to other tax aid locations outside of the KRL system. So just these two branches are where we're hosting them, but the tax aids themselves are lots of other places in the county. So that's here, and we'll keep it updated in our Inspires through the end of tax season. We've got, I'm thinking specifically Bremerton centric, but we'll cover some other stuff. We've got Veg Club, First Tuesdays, which is a virtual program from the Bainbridge branch. You don't have to live on Bainbridge Island to attend their programs. All of our programs are open to anyone across the county. And this one's virtual, so that might be fun to dial into or call into. An in-person one we have coming up, though, is Grown Up Lego Club, which is right at the downtown branch with me. That's this coming Saturday at 11.
I
If
saw a
you
flyer for that and I shared it.
Yay, I'm so glad. Because we have our ongoing Lego club for kiddos, but I talk to a lot of adults who also want to play with Lego. So this one is grown-up centric. Older teens are fine as well, no problem. But it'll just be a space of free play, no stress, no homework, no expectation to build anything weird. Just keep your hands busy, chat with your neighbors. It'll
So
be a
which one what kind of Legos are they? So, it's probably been like 15 years ago we were into Legos, and so like we have a Sherman tank, we
oh,
have the Enterprise Class D. Um, so is it the kits where you can really go to town, or is it just kind of free play with Legos?
This is more free play. We've got these beautiful big tubs of just all different types of shapes and sizes, and colors, and it's more of a, build whatever your brain's coming with. We can come up with some challenges as well. Build your, I don't know, a vehicle of the future or the tallest tower or what you would love your home desk to look like, something like that, just something silly. We may have some specialized pieces as well, but for the most part this is going to be just free form, do whatever keeps your hands happy. It is also around the same time as the St. Patrick's Day parade, which is happening downtown.
Oh,
So
wow.
folks to know you do not have to come for the whole thing, stay beginning to the end. You can drop in, you can take a break from the parade, go out to see it, come in after. all good. We're hoping to make it a regular thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, it'll be fun. I also just like playing with Legos, so I hope that people will come hang out with me.
So you're gonna
Um,
be inside, outside? Does it depend on the weather?
we will be inside the library in our community room, which is our upstairs meeting room. So if you walk into the downtown branch, head left, and it is the room to the back. You can also ask the staff, and they'll direct you how to get there. Um, it'll be fun. I hope so.
I think that's great because that you might get some traffic for folks that are down for the parade, and it's like, all right, let's go into this library since we're right here, and they would normally go maybe to Port Orchard or Poulsbo Library. So that's awesome. I
I
love
hope
it.
so. Some other programs we have coming up for grown-ups. Got a class about home brewing in Poulsbo, same time. So if you are available Saturday around 11 a.m. and you are in the North Kitsap area, there's this great informational program about your gardening at home to assist home brewers. So what types of things can you use in recipes, brews, that type of thing. That's going on in the North Kitsap area. What else? Over in at Sylvan Way and a couple other locations, we have a visit from the Peninsula Community Health Services Mobile Medical Clinic.
Oh
Um,
wow.
so that's when they bring their van to our different library locations, and that way you can get medical support on specific days, so you don't have to head to their locations. If you have any questions, we recommend you get in touch with that specific branch because they have very set days and times. We also have coming up on the 17th, so next Friday, I believe, third Friday of every month, we have Enlightened Kitsap Community Forum. This one's going to be great. It is presenter Zelda Foxall, who is a co-founder of a performing arts group, and she does these really wonderful in-person like vignettes, like one-woman shows of different historical figures. And so she'll be presenting civil rights leader Ella Baker this
Oh,
year.
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, she's been a regular with the Enlightened group the past several years, I believe. But she's really energetic. It's a hybrid program as well. So if you'd like to show up in person, it is at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in East Bremerton, just over the Warren Bridge. And there will also be a Zoom link if you are not able to head out but do want to watch on Zoom. So that'll be a really cool one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day downtown, so not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, we have an introduction to Irish dance class, which will be led by a local instructor, Lita Geraldo. That one is registration required just because we have limited space. So if folks do want to attend, please either check out the webpage, our website, or just get in touch with the downtown branch. Just give us a call or pop in and say you want to register. That'll be really cool. I'm not a big dancer myself, but I'm excited to watch in and see, the Irish step dancing has a really interesting history. So it'll be a cool class to attend.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Absolutely.
Now, Priya, let me ask you, as you're scrolling down, is the
Yeah.
Peninsula Community Health Service mobile van, is that new coming to the different libraries?
No, they've been doing it for some time now.
Really?
I think it's not necessarily a regular like every week type of thing though.
Hmm.
So they just have a very specific schedule for some of the larger branches. For instance, Port Orchard, Paulsbo, Sylvan, they've hosted in the past. So it's a great resource, especially if you're either unable to make it in for an appointment or haven't had medical care in a while. That said, it is limited times, limited days. So this will definitely be something where if you need specialized service following on, you can work with a PCHS specialist to come up with the beginnings of what might end up being a care plan, that type of thing.
Now, do you know if you need to have, health care? Do you need to have Apple Care or Blue Cross Blue Shield or anything like that? Or just if you need, you could just come?
I don't know that off the top of my head. We can check out if there's more information on the website elsewhere. It does say, you can get help with enrolling for insurance. So if you don't have it, that might be a good place to stop in and ask about that.
That's huge.
Yes, but again, I would recommend if you are interested in taking advantage of this service, give the branch a call or pop in ahead of time, just because that branch staff will have more information about what specifically you can do and what the PCHS specialists are equipped to do in that small space, because again, it is a mobile medical clinic. But it's a fantastic resource, and we're really glad to be working with them. We've got Some other programs coming up. I won't go through every single one of them. Some really cool stuff about bookbinding and Bible restoration up in Poulsbo next weekend. A little bit more about healthcare. Specifically, this one's hybrid at Silverdale on March 21st. Looks like they got a topic of snoring and sleep apnea. Fascinating. And then we've also got a few other things going on. One more downtown, actually, if I can toot our own horn for downtown Bremerton. We've got a new program in the works with the Kitsap History Museum, which is our couple blocks over neighbor in downtown, called Perspectives, where the museum staff unearth a fascinating artifact from their collection, share a
Oh,
little bit of
wow.
about it, like what brought it to them, what was the historical context, and then it's really just a community conversation about what that artifact means to you. What is your experience relating to it? Truly intergenerational. So please feel free to attend, bring your kiddos, bring your grandparents, all different generations. The artifact in particular for this session will be World War II letters between loved ones. So there's a lot of challenging elements that go into keeping close with someone when they are far away, especially World War II. That was, hugely challenging circumstances for our whole nation, for the world, basically. But we want to hear, what does that type of communication feel like when you're in it? Maybe if you or someone you love lived through World War II or is around that time period. Maybe you are young and you've never handwritten a letter before. What does it feel like to learn about that, to see something, to hold it in your hands? So we're really hoping to just have this be a robust conversation, sharing our perspectives. Really excited for this one. We're hoping to have it be a quarterly thing.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah. So that's at the Kitsap History Museum, 7 to 8 p.m. on the 23rd. We've also got some artsy crafty things coming up at Port Orchard, pressed flower art, and then fiber art circle in Silverdale to finish out the month. And then we've also got our regular book groups, and love, at our different locations. Again, you don't have to be a patron at that specific branch to go to that book group. You're welcome to pop in as long as you feel comfortable discussing the topic of that month. So for instance, downtown, March 27th is our meeting. It's hybrid, and we'll just be doing a reader's choice of something by a local author. So if you would like some assistance finding a book by a local author that fits your preferences, feel free to get in touch and I can help out with that. Then we've also, I'll just breeze through this real quick. We've got programs for teens, kiddos. We've got a little bit more information about Libby, which is that digital reading app that I mentioned earlier. And then working through, we've got a list of story times as well. Again, those are for younger ages across all of our branches. And then lastly, locations hours on the back. I hope I breezed through everything.
Man, it is chock full in March. I mean,
yes.
The library is so much more than books. And this is a really busy month. So you said, vignettes with historians, letters from World War II, brewing at home, Legos, Irish dancing. I mean, it's just the
gambit. A lot going on.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we try to keep busy and just have something for everyone. But again, if you also have any suggestions for programs that you want to see, feel free to, walk into your branch and just say, hey, where's the librarian? I got an idea for them. And we are happy to try to make it happen.
Well, let me ask you, how many of these things that the library does came from someone else's ideas?
That's a good question. I can't speak for other branches. I know a lot of the programs that I help prepare at downtown, those sort of come out of conversations with community members or community partners, like the museum, for instance. We were just chatting about wanting to do something intergenerational, and boom, Perspectives was born. But we really don't plan anything in a vacuum. Like, everything is centered on who in our community would benefit most, who would be interested, what type of experience can we offer them, just overall, how can we support our people? And for more information, because this is a a very tidy document. You can always, on our website, just click on classes and events right at the top, and it brings you to the interactive calendar. And here you can find more information, for instance, tax aid, more details than can fit in the Inspire. So our web pages for these events always have a little bit more information there.
One, I love that, a lot of thought has gone into this. So when you click in, you've got the map and you've got the contact info. Because
Mhm.
sometimes it's like, oh, I clicked in, but now I have a question. I need to make a phone call, or I need to look and see what were the hours. Like, yeah, this
Mhm.
is this is really robust and has the descriptions and just everything that you would need uh, in regards to, okay, how am I going to take advantage of this opportunity here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, Ron, you had mentioned you want me to touch on the tax resources as well. I can just jump right into that since we're
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
So like I said, two of our library locations are hosting the AARP Tax Aid Program. Those are trained volunteers from AARP to assist with tax filing. It is not library staff. We are not trained for that. We cannot provide tax assistance. We can print out forms if you need them. And we do have the basic like 1040s, 1040 SR and the instruction booklets available that you can just come and grab at every one of our branches. If you need a more specific form than that, we can just print it. Just let us know the number. But these two branches, Poulsbo and then Bainbridge is a separate page, are hosting the volunteers, and they all have different information on how to take advantage of that. So again, I recommend checking out the webpage or giving either of those branches a call if you do want assistance with this. So for instance, you see all the dates, times for Poulsbo. Bainbridge has its own page. However, the tax aid program is available at other locations outside of KRL as well. So I do just want to share in case you aren't able to make it to Poulsbo or Bainbridge. I brought up the webpage for the tax aid program. This is the AARP website. I just did a quick Google AARP tax aid. Let me here. So it tells you a little bit more about that volunteer program. They are IRS certified. And what you can do is go to the site locator, which is just linked right here. And it brings you to an interactive map. I'm just going to type in my zip code. That's where we are in downtown. And it will bring you to all the locations with a volunteer available. So I'm just going to scoot in a little bit here. So you can see, for instance, Paulsville Bay Bridge, but there's also additional locations. For instance, in Bremerton, we can click on
You
this one.
might be on a different screen, Priya.
What was that?
You might be on a different screen. I'm still on the Pulse Bowl screen.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on a second. Let me rectify that. Here we are. Thank you for catching that. Okay, so I started out here. Are you seeing the AARP website?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. So, like I said, I just did a quick Google AARP tax aid, or you can go to the AARP website, follow the prompts. But I'm just going to go to the site locator, which is right down here. It's an interactive map. And we're going to do downtown. Cool. All right, so now you see there are several more locations than just Poulsbo and Bainbridge, because those are our library locations. But the volunteers have also set up at places like the Sheridan Park Center, which is not part of the library
Nice.
system, but it is nearby. Actually,
Nice.
go and see where it is, Lebo Boulevard and East Bremerton, days and times when it's available, and then just some more information about that. So that is our next closest to downtown. Oh, sorry about that. But you can see other locations based on where you are in the county. They all function a teensy bit differently, but for the most part, they are walk-in. They will specify if you need to make an appointment. So, for instance, here's one in Port Orchard at St. Gabriel Catholic Church. And so this is just one really useful resource to help get your taxes filed if you need assistance with that. One other element, I'll show you, it's krl.org/taxes, is our tax-specific page on our website. And so that includes the site locations for Poulsbo and Bainbridge, where we have the volunteers stationed, as well as general information about how we can support with filing your taxes. So links to the IRS website, printable forms. If you need some help with that at the library, we can help. We've got information about the Working Families Tax Credit, and then just info about how to access tax forms through the library. But again, we want to make it very clear, library staff cannot help you file your taxes. We can just help you get the forms so that you can get started with that. Yes. Any questions, Marwan?
No, but I was gonna just provide a little bit more information and play this video from the working tax credit folks.
Yeah, go for it.
Just a little short one here.
New tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
So the thing that I just wanted to add in there is we are Gather Together, Grow Together is working with Commerce this year to get this information out. And so you don't necessarily have to have children to qualify for the working tax family credit. So if you want some information, you can either go straight to their website at workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov or their phone number at 360-763-7300. Or you can call us at 360-373-3000, not to be mistaken with Commerce, as it is so close there. And we do have drop-in hours, and we actually do have a licensed bookkeeper on staff that you can schedule appointments, and they can help you answer questions or complete your taxes also. So we will be pushing this out through the course of tax season, and Commerce realizes, from an equity standpoint, folks don't always hear about these tax credits, and with what everyone is going through, every little bit helps. So again, even though family is in the word, you are a family of one, and you may be eligible for the working family credit. So do reach out and check into that. So just wanted to add that little piece there.
Oh, of course. That's, again, like really need to know information that I'm sure will benefit such a large portion of our community. So,
well, and you may not know, because Shannon may have not distributed them yet, but our flyers are in every library.
nice.
So if you go to the kiosk, you'll probably see our flyers in there with the drop-in hours and all that information. So we want everyone to know. So please tell everyone, tell everyone, tell everyone. And hopefully this tax credit is here to stay. So, but we just don't want people to miss out on the first year. So absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, with that said, now I want to get into the exciting piece. So I always peruse as it gets closer to the end of the month and you get ready to come on. It's like, all right, so what are we going to talk about this month? And I look for things that we haven't talked about previously. And I don't think we ever talked about the next topic here. And I'm like, okay, so what is the book group kits?
Yeah. Oh, this is a really cool bundle of books, basically service that we offer. So, we have our monthly book groups that are in every Inspire, and that's if you want to gather with a group of people who you may or may not know at your local branch to talk about a book. Awesome. Most people are familiar with book groups, book clubs. They all mean the same thing. However, we also love to hear when people have created their own book groups, their own book clubs out in their community, with their friends, with their neighbors, with their family, with their classes, all that good stuff. And we want to support that. So we offer these kits that have multiple copies of the same book, as well as discussion guidelines that you can check out for a big chunk of time. Take it home with you, distribute it to your book group members, have your meeting, bring it back when you're done. So that makes it a little easier than trying to hunt around and finding a bunch of copies of a book in our catalog. Instead, you get one little tub, yay big, that has all of it in one place. So I can show you how to take advantage of that. All right. So we're on our homepage again, and you can see the book group kit is smack dab in the middle of our carousel here. Perfect timing. But I'll show you how to find it otherwise. So again, this is contingent on you having a library card. So if you don't have one, it's super easy to get one. You can either visit your local branch or click on visit, get a card, and you can sign up for one online. But once you have your card, then let's go check out the book group options. So we're going to avoid this because it is too obvious. Smack dab in the center of our page. In the read, watch, and listen section of our website, we're going to scroll down to book group kits. And I will also preface this by saying the website that we know and love will be going through some changes in the next couple months. Keep an eye out for patron emails about that. It will look a little bit different, but the service of book group kits will still function. So I will maybe come on and do a website orientation once that's launched.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. But while we're here, we'll go into book group kits. Awesome. And it's just krl.org/book group kits. Okay, so this is a little background about what a kit is. We've got 15 copies of the same title and a discussion guide. You can choose whether or not to use those questions that are included in there. It's just a little bit of a support in case you need it. They check out for 6 weeks at a time, and you have to reserve them through a service we use called Kit Keeper. It is separate from our catalog, so it does take a little bit of orienting, but if you want to just click around in it, see what titles we have, I'll take you through it now, but it does definitely warrant some exploration because there's a lot there. All right. So these are instructions here, but I will just take you through it real quick. Here is the link for
So cool.
Yes. Okay. So while we're here, you know where you are. It's Kitsap Regional Library. You've got a few ways that you can get in. You can get in through browsing the titles. If you know exactly which kit you want, there's a full drop-down list. Or if you just don't care really what's available and you just need to pick something for a specific date, you can go into the calendar here. I'm just going to look at the list so you can get a sense of how many we have. And we are continually adding more as well. So the titles listed here, they tend to be ones that are pretty widely known, somewhat popular, available in paperback, available in different formats. If you think of like Oprah's Book Club or Reese's Book Club, those types of like, really popular general interest titles, we'll probably have a bunch of those here, as well as some of the classics. So we'll just skim a little bit. We've got a picture of the cover. We've got the title, author, genre, who it's for. These are, I believe, mostly, if not all, adult-centered. But, if you're a teen and you want to cover one of these titles, more power to you. We won't stop you. And then contents, which I think for all of them should be 15 copies of the book and the discussion guide. And then a very brief summary of the book itself. And so it's just alphabetical here. We've got Alice Network, Animal Farm, The Bear, Becoming, Michelle Obama. Amazing. This one is nonfiction.
Is that a good book?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Is it? Okay.
Good. Yeah. Especially on audio. But we've got, a pretty good variety. They tend to lean fiction, I think, except there are some pretty popular nonfiction titles. Being Mortal was one that just flew off the shelf when it was published. So again, I recommend you come in and scroll through just because there's a lot here. I know a lot of our book groups also cover titles like these, just our KRL book groups. So if you want any guidance from any library staff, we're happy to help you sort of sort through, tell us what your group is interested in reading, and we can help you, figure out which kit might be best for you. Let's go to Interior Chinatown. I loved this book. Okay. So let's click on Reserve Kit and see what happens. Brings it to a little calendar here, and you're going to scroll. It looks like it is booked out. There we go. So because these check out for 6 weeks.
December?
Yeah.
Okay, this is popular.
6 weeks at a time. And that's very luxurious for you and your book group. It's a comfortable amount of time. So I hope that no one who has one of these will feel rushed to really speed things up. But because of that, there also tends to be a little bit of a wait list. So if you do have a book club or I use those terms interchangeably. At KRL, we use book group. If you have a book group at home and some of these titles look good to you, go in and reserve them early because these tend to, be pretty popular. This title in particular, I just really loved. That's why I picked it, but I did not know it was checked out that far out. Wow. So we'll scroll down till we see some blue text. Here we go. December 5th, first day. We'll click on reserve. And then this is basically the bulk of the information we need from you. Your name, a phone number, an email. Barcode means your library card number so that we can attach it to your account. Any notes you want to add, you usually don't really have to. And then whatever your pickup library is. So if you are Bremerton means downtown Bremerton, Sylvan Ways, East Bremerton, that type of thing. And then the date will already auto-populate based on the date that you clicked, and the due date will auto-populate as well. Then you'll click reserve. You should get a notification, and then we will process it through the branch that you requested. And then when it's ready, we will put it on hold for you and come pick it up just like you would with a regular book that you put on hold. do your thing, bring it back when you're done, easy peasy, and just keep going from there. So those are the book group kits. One thing I would also add, we have, looks like 59 separate titles, and they have 15 per kit. If you have a book club that's just like 3 of you and you're like, I don't really want to wait that long, you're also more than welcome to just, search through our general catalog and just see like, hey, this is the title we're interested in reading. You have 5 copies on the shelves. Can we check out 3 of them for my book? Like, yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions on how to do that or need some help, let your library staff know, and we can absolutely help you put multiple copies on hold, especially if you don't need all 15 of them, or if it's a title that we don't have in a kit itself. Yeah.
You answered the question that was on my mind. It's like, well, what about a book that isn't part of the kit, or maybe I had a smaller 4 or 5 of us want to read the same book, and so you answered that for me. And then because you can come and reserve a room, you can set time to discuss the book. So we read the first 2 chapters, and now we want to come in and talk about it together. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. And a way to connect with people.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, if you feel like you have the initiative or you have a group of people already in your network who want to make their own little book club, fantastic. We just want to support whatever works best for you and your group. So if a single kit with 15 copies of the book works, awesome. We'll help you get that in your hands. If you want to have a book group but not all read the same title, or want to read related things and need some help figuring out what those could be, we're also happy to help. Yeah. So for instance, if everyone's like, hey, we're doing the, Octavia Butler book club. We're all reading a different Octavia Butler book. Help us out. Definitely get in touch with your local branch if you need support with that. We can,
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. Like, we're going to do, the American-Philippine War or something like that. And everyone is going to just collect information from different places, cite their sources, and then come and have a dialogue and a discussion, because we can't all read everything. Man, what a great idea. Like, that sounds super awesome. Like, I want to do that. I'm like, how can I do that? How can I do that?
Yeah, not every book club has to be the same book. Sometimes it is really nice to be able to say, hey, we all started at the same place, share thoughts on very specific things. For other book clubs, sometimes it's just like, we just want to share what we've been reading in general. Doesn't even have to be even remotely related, and that's totally fine too. Whatever gets you reading.
So clearly you can tell I haven't been in a book club before, so a little excited, like, hey buddy, act like it's not your first time, okay?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's a very traditional model of book clubs, which you'll see with a lot of our KRL book groups. It's like, we're reading the same book, we're talking about it. And it's awesome. It's a really great way to connect with people, having that sort of structure, especially if you don't know the people who are in your book club. Maybe you're new to it. Fantastic. No shame on that. If you're like feeling to branch out a little bit, though, we can get creative with you. So, yeah.
And I was thinking, too, if it was a book that wasn't part of the club and I was going to choose a book, then I might look at the other kit and see some of the prompts and questions, and then just kind of apply that to the book. And it's like, oh, what questions do I ask to kind of get the dialogue going? It's like, well, look at this other kit over here, maybe get some ideas, or of course, ask a librarian, because they have all the answers.
Well, we try to have most of them. I will say, for a lot of major publisher books that do sort of have that like book club designation, like they're pretty popular, they're published in a bunch of formats. A lot of them will already just have discussion questions on their website, like on the web page of that book, especially if it's one that's, really, really hyped before it's published, or it's a really well-known author. So that's a resource. Or you can just, get in touch with your librarian. We'll help you come up with some questions.
Well, let me ask an unrelated question to the book kits. If a book is going to be popular like that, and they're going to have these questions on the website, are they changing their writing style because they know that people are going to engage that way? Do you see any difference there?
You mean are the authors, or are the questions on the?
Just kind of, well, the authors, right? Because they're usually like, Michelle Obama probably has someone that's helping her write and organize things, or whoever it is, right?
Gotcha. I don't know that I have insight into that side of things. I know that the major publishing, the mainstream publishing industry is massive. And there's outside of the author, there's also like editors, agents, designers, reviewers, a whole bunch of other people. And so the information you'll find on like a publisher's webpage for a book, it'll be, all sorts of like publicity, marketing, copy, all that types of things. So I'm not sure how well tied into that the author is. As long as they put out a fantastic book, I'm sure the publisher is happy and the reader is happy. But in terms of coming up with ways that readers can engage with the book after it's published, discussion questions if they're published on the website, that's something maybe the editors or marketing staff might have some hand in. Reviewers will definitely be helpful. There's all sorts of book reviews online. And I don't know, library staff. You never know. We might have some.
It's just fascinating, Priya. I didn't even consider that. It's like, all right, you have your book, like you said, you publish it, you do your marketing and advertising and your book tours and all that good stuff, but not, hey, I've got a website and here's a prompt for those that are in a book club and gonna read it together and dialogue. Like, wow, that's really cool.
It's a well-oiled machine, and we as readers hopefully benefit from it and have really good conversations about the books that we're reading. Yeah.
Wow. Like I said, I was looking forward to this one. It's like, all right, I'm looking around, like, this is it right here. And it never disappoints. And you never disappoint. You always have something new. We always learn something new every single month. Man, which is what the library is all about. Learning.
The library is also a well-oiled machine. We got a lot of people doing a lot of really good things. If you ever have recommendations or asks or suggestions for things that we can do better, or see more titles for book group kits, or just more support for your book club or just your reading style in general, we've got people for it. So happy to help.
Yeah. Well, all right, and you can always reach out through Ask Us Tell Us at www.krl.org/Ask Us Tell Us email. And man, well, we went a little long today, but man, good stuff. I love it. I'm going to give you the final word, Priya, and then I will see you in April.
Oh gosh. Okay. Everyone stay warm tonight, but also try to enjoy the sunshine. Lord knows we need we need some more sunshine in our lives. And please do share what you're reading. We library staff like to hear it. It's not weird at all.
How can they do that? What's the best way for them to do that? To share? Just come on down?
Gosh. If you're a people person, you're welcome to just visit us at the library. If you really, really, really want to share what you're reading, the Ask Us Tell Us is fantastic. I mean, library staff look at that. If you have, comments or complaints, compliments, good stuff, bad stuff, questions, whatever, we love to hear it. And we will share it with the person that it is directly related to also. So
nice.
If you really want to know, like, hey, how can I get more involved in how our library is running? Ask us. We'll try to help out. Yes.
Do you share like the kudos too? Like, hey, Priya was so awesome. I came in last week and she helped me with this and she was fantastic.
Absolutely, yes. And it makes our day, really. It's nice.
Good. They even do that even if you don't remember the person's name, right? I came in and I had this wonderful experience, type that in there because they may be able to go back and think of the day and hear the story. It's like, oh, that was me. And, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Or even if it's not that specific, if you're like, hey, I had a conversation with a library staff member. I can't remember their name, but I remember the thing I was going to tell them that I forgot. Put it in a question.
I remember now that I'm gone and 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah. The book cover was blue, but I can't remember the title of the author. Like we'll sort it out. I promise.
Well, I love it. I love it. Well, as always, Priya, I appreciate your time for coming on.
I appreciate you.
Hope that the library has a fantastic month. And again, you'll be able to see Priya this weekend for the Lego event, which is on Saturday, correct?
Saturday at 11. If you just need a break from the parade too, come in and say hi.
All right. So even if you don't play with the Legos, just go by and say hey to Priya. She would love it and appreciate it.
Thanks, Marwan.
All right. So for Priya Chari and the Kitsap Regional Library, I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. We will see you later on tonight. We've got a special live tonight. I'm not even going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody.